You didn't just say animal, did you?
I did say animal.
No.
So what if someone is an ethical vegan and they don't want to eat animals or animal byproducts because of their ethical reasons? What do you say to those people?
I actually have a page on my blog just for these people. So if you go to rawfoodsos.com and click on the little button at the top that says vegan, that's like all of my recommendations that I could ever give to any vegan in the whole world to maximize their chance of staying healthy. And those include things like supplementing with vitamin D and vitamin K2. And for people who are ethical vegans, I advise them to look at shellfish because shellfish are not sentient. They don't have a central nervous system. They don't feel pain like other animals, but they're some of the most nutrient-dense foods like in the world. If you want to eat shellfish, and if you're ethically comfortable with that, because again, they don't feel pain, that can really save your health as a vegan. I believe the term is bivalve vegan. You bivalves and then you're vegan.
So what about this scenario when someone's been a raw vegan for 4 years and everything's perfect? What should they do?
Keep doing what works.
I think we all agree upon that.
So.
We're not anti anything. We're pro what works.
Yeah.
I think people get caught up just because the vegan diet didn't work for us like we wanted it to doesn't mean it won't work for you. We kind of guide people in a way that we want you to experiment for yourself because we think each person is different, even within your own family. It's been proven to be different for us. We reacted differently to different foods, or to the same foods. And we really encourage you to find what works best for you, but also don't get caught up in any dogma where you might have consequences that are irreversible, such as rotting teeth or a reproductive system that's unable to be repaired, because I know a lot of young women want to have children in the future, and sometimes I'm worried they take it so far that they might be preventing themselves from doing that in the future. I was on that path actually. My testosterone was getting awfully low. So that I would heed a strong warning against that. I mean, as much as you would like to think everything's detox, if you're not producing any semen for an extended period of time, I would definitely get your blood checked and maybe get your brain checked.
Yeah, so don't let your beliefs get in the way of your experiences.
And kind of like Daniel said, even us three, me, Daniel, and Timothy, we're so similar. We look alike and we're brothers. And even foods affect us way differently. Like, I can't eat the same way Daniel eats because it makes me feel horrible, and he can't eat the same way I eat because it makes him feel bad. Now, can you imagine everyone trying to mimic each other, other people's diets that they're not even related to? It's I just don't think there's one diet for every person, and we're so uniquely individualized. And
is that seen across different species, or?
I think it's mostly humans. But if you look at our history and if you look at all the places we've been and where we've come from, it makes sense.
Yeah, I think they're a lot more diverse than like a species of animals.
Yeah, humans, I would say, are much more dynamic than elephants.
Yeah.
But all that being said, we're not trying to stir the pot or cause a debate. We're really just trying to help you tap into your intuitive wisdom. And we have a video on that with Nathaniel that I recommend watching now. But yeah, and it's just cool to hear people and their different experiences. We like hanging out with Denise with the whole food topic because she's really gone through the whole gauntlet of experiences, I think. From raw vegan to more of a paleo type of diet?
Most of my diet is still plants, actually, and it's mostly still fruit, just like calorie-wise, but it's kind of like a combination of paleo and raw foods and Weston A. Price, and just like the benefits that I found from all those eating systems, I like just shove them together.
So how do we label you?
You don't label.
Oh man, that's no fun. No, I think we're all kind of unlabelable. Unlabelable, including yourself. So don't get caught up in that stuff. Perzon has a good analogy for that. I was hoping for
so there are three guys at the gates of heaven.
So our label is unlabelable.
No, you have to say the word correctly.
Unlabelable.
Unlabelable. Oh, there you go. That felt pretty good.
I'll label myself with a slight speech impediment.
There's no shame in that either. I had to go through speech therapy, and so did John Stossel in 2020.
Yeah, so if you want to have specific questions about specific foods or specific experiences, such as is raw milk good for you, or should I eat my meat raw or cooked? I think we all have different websites where they might tackle those individual issues, and yours is rawfoodsos.com. RawBrahs, you know us, YouTube and Facebook.com/RawBrahs.
Facebook.com, Authentic Evolution. We don't do as much food stuff.
But what he does is much more powerful than food.
And then I know there's other authors and other gurus or other teachers. There's a whole range of, like, I'm sure you've read plenty of books or watched plenty of documentaries, and a lot of those are one-sided. I don't know. I've read we've listened and read to the China Study, and also there's like the Vegetarian Myth from Leonard Keith. Is there any ones that you would say take a more diplomatic approach that are not so one-sided, other than yourself?
That's actually a problem I have just when people ask me for book recommendations, because I don't think that there's anything out there that is completely unbiased. And so anything you read, you really have to evaluate it for its objectiveness. And my only recommendation is for people to read as wide a variety of books and materials and watch a variety of movies and documentaries. Don't just stick into your little whatever you want to be true and don't branch beyond that. You have to actually look at the opposing sides, and then you can actually integrate those into your worldview.
Yeah. So don't just take in information that are in accordance with your beliefs.
Yeah.
Branch out a little bit. Have some faith.
Because it's really easy to get sucked into that group think, especially if you're in the forums. And this is a big problem if you're online and your entire life is online, like on the diet forums. Because I've been through that. I know a lot of people have been through that. And it's a bad place to be. Because the real world is not inside your computer. It's out here. It's like with these people.
It's true. You can really get caught up in your imaginings, and that's one of the things that we try to instill in the people in our retreats, is because we form these connections based on authentic communication and being radically honest with each other. But those don't always carry over to online, because most of communication is taking place non-verbally.
A large percentage. Like what kind of percent?
93, roughly.
Wow.
And I've also heard 70% of statistics are made up on the spot.
You made that one up.
Timothy, you helped catch our slow viewers up.
Sometimes I feel like we're a little Sometimes I feel like we're a little overcomplicated for our viewers. We need to make it more simplistic.
Yeah, but for the complicated people, what we talked about beliefs was there's something called belief persistence, and it's very tough for some to take in information with an open mind and an open heart when it challenges what we really believe, like our core beliefs. And the term psychologists use is belief persistence. And what we kind of went through, and I know I'm speaking for the group, is when we were into that whole 100% raw vegan, fix all, life is beautiful, if you just eat raw vegan, the specific ratios, anything that came and challenged that, we would write off. And it's because we saw through those beliefs. We saw reality through that tunnel. And we all have that reality tunnel we look at reality from. And it's just about expanding it, and taking in more information. And, when you stop looking at life through your little perspective, new ideas open up, new relationships start to come. And that's where the beauty is. That's where the love is. And that's where this is, reality.
So let your laser vision hit that prism.
Don't get stuck with these small calves. No.
But
man, there was one
we're about
You
to
think your baby has small calves when he's born.
He has flat feet too.
I'm really
It's not too late for abortion.
I'm faster and stronger.
He is faster.
There's one thing I was going to say.
But it's all about looking good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's funny also, one little last point I would like to make is a lot of the times these authors or teachers are actually giving a more objective lesson than the viewers pass along. For instance, if anyone's read 80-10-10, everyone loves to quote Doug Graham in 80-10-10 and how everything has to be a specific way. But one of the first few pages of his book, if I'm not mistaken, is all about all the other spokes of the wheel other than food. Food was like one small cut of the pie. He talks a lot about being fully hydrated, sleeping fully, sitting out in the sun, taking in some sun naked like every other animal does, getting proper rest. It's proper social relationships. It's not all about that one spoke. So look at the hub. We talk about that love hub quite a bit.
Yeah, and just to name names, we've hung out with Dr. Doug Graham, and we get along with him great. From in my experience, at least I thought I got along with him great, and we had a lot of fun with him, and we enjoyed hanging out in his presence. But I tell you, a lot of people that follow what his beliefs are, not so much. They don't like us at all.
Yeah, Doug Graham is not bashing us, or Paul Chek is not bashing us. Or Denise Minger is not bashing us. The true masters, even John Lewis or Koya Webb, other what I believe are well-respected vegans, they're not spending any time saying anything negative about us because we've hung out with them, we've interacted with them on a face-to-face basis, and they don't really have time for that. What they're doing is working for them, and they're trying to pass that along. They're trying to perpetuate what works for them to other people. They're not spending time, projecting their insecurities on others. So if I might be painting a picture of yourself, you might want to take a look in the mirror. It's a lot easier to throw those stones behind a computer screen, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, and speaking of mirrors, that's the only place you really need to look, because the guru is right there in the mirror. It's not out there. You don't have to really have a guru or think you need to learn something from anyone. Just look in that mirror, like Dan said, and tap into that intuitive intelligence or that intuitive wisdom, and you'll see that, wow, all these books, all these recommendations, all this advice is meaningless when you already trust yourself and then you know how to live.
It was all based on a personal experience of something that worked for that personal individual, but you are not that person. And maybe if you find out really what works for you, you can be the next author. And we can listen to you with a lovingly open heart.
And if you're too busy spending all your time telling people what you're against, they're never going to know what you're for or what you're promoting.
So just remember, self-righteousness is a dead giveaway for a sad secret. So once you really realize that and experience it like we have plenty of people apologizing to us and asking what to do about their teeth that are falling out. You'll be able to, and I don't mean that, I'm being serious. Like, it might not necessarily be teeth falling out, but teeth issues or sexual issues because of the way they've eaten. You'll realize that you can come from a more empathetic standpoint and realize they got caught up just like we got caught up. We were getting kind of crazy, but I'm not exactly sure how to pinpoint it. It might have been a cholesterol shortage. It might have just been dogma. It might have been a combination of a lot of things. I can't really pinpoint it. I wish life was not so dynamic. Actually, I love the dynamic now. And now I'm just rambling. Edit.
Hey, check out those hot girls. Well, if nothing happened to you, you might have to get checked out.
Yeah. And Perzan was saying that you don't need a guru, or you don't need, except for the RawBrahs.
Yeah, obviously.
Just make sure to follow us, because what we are following is just total truth. We are the absolute truth. The RawBrahs are what you've been looking for.
And when something's really embarrassing that doesn't work out for us, like I couldn't get morning wood for 7 months, you'll know about it. And you can make fun of us for that. And then one day, you'll ask us how to get morning wood again.
Be the person that the person you're looking for is looking for.
When your testosterone levels are equivalent to an average man in his 90s or 100s, you know there's something wrong.
No, it's just detox.
Unless you're female.
That's true.
You're in good shape.
That's pretty good material. Maybe I'll throw this in somewhere. It's really easy to get caught up. Like, for instance, when our dad, we were eating in the raw vegan diet with our father, and he complained of receding gum issues, and we always wrote it off as like, oh, it's just you're not eating ripe enough fruit. And because it hadn't happened to us yet, it hadn't hit us, but sure enough, it hit us, and we were eating ripe fruit. And I don't know where I'm going to put that in that video. But I did good, Daniel. All right, cool. Everyone good?
I'll say one more thing.
All right.
And we've said this before, but for instance, for myself, I feel like I could do well off of all fruit. That's right, all fruit. But I feel better and stronger when I incorporate some animal products, even some grains from time to time, just like if I'm working out hard, just a calorie-dense meal. And I know Nathaniel doesn't react the same towards food. So.
If you found this video as edutaining as we did, make sure you click like. And while you're at it, subscribe to our videos. And while you're at that, like our Facebook page. And while you're at that, we love you.